there has been speculation and controversy about who was going to make it all the way. And victory has now been gained, and by naming Spain the champion of the FIFA World Cup 2010. I'm going to talk about the history of the World Cup, how it's celebrated around the globe, and the victory of Spain versus the Netherlands. The world in the World Cup is not only described as teams from different countries, but it's expressed as a word of unity. The name soccer evolved from different parts of the world in which it gained the name soccer, but which originated from the name football. The World Cup has been around since 1904. It was associated with 7 European countries such as Denmark, France, Spain, Belgium, Switzerland, and the Netherlands. The 7 countries met and eventually they met in Paris, and then they moved to Geneva, Switzerland. In order to understand how the game is played, you must understand the objective of the goal. The main goal of soccer is to shoot the ball into the goal, mainly. But the game lasts 90 minutes. It's broken down into 2 45-minute halves. There are different positions played by each individual. First, you have the goalkeeper, who is responsible for keeping the ball out of the goal. You have the defenders, who are meant to protect the goalkeeper. You have midfielders, who are responsible for keeping the ball up front so that the ball is not near the goal. And you have the forwards, who are meant to score. Before the World Cup could start, each country was put into groups depending on their ranking. Each team must play a certain number. They're in 4 groups, and in each group, it depends on the team with the lowest points of the goal. Each team is divided into groups with their rankings, and they must play each team in their group. When the team has played, the team with the lowest amount of points or goals is kicked out of their group. Right here, you can see that it's divided into different groups. Group A, Group B, C, D, and to G. So you have to play each team in your group, and whoever gets eliminated eventually advances. The World Cup is celebrated differently in each country. For example, in the US, most people crowd around a big screen TV and they eat chips and beer and watch the game. But for other countries, sometimes it's different. For example, in South Africa, because this was the first African nation to host a World Cup, is a very big deal. So many people gathered around to pray and give thanks. Here, in this picture, it shows soccer fans who are supporting this was the game. They were watching on a big screen in France. It was the game France versus Mexico. In this picture, it was where fans celebrated South Africa's first goal with the opening match between South Africa versus Mexico. Right here, fans gathered around Alexandria Place in northern London to watch the match England versus the USA. Here, this is in Japan, where fans are wearing 3D glasses to watch the World Cup. This is where fans celebrated the U.S. soccer team's win against Algeria. And fans in Germany react during the semifinals of the match Germany versus Spain. Now that I've talked about the World Cup being celebrated around the globe, I explained the victory of Spain versus the Netherlands. In the last 26 minutes of the World Cup tournament, Andreas Iniesta made Spain become the 8th country to win the World Cup after defeating the Netherlands 1-0. Spain's victory in their first World Cup final made them become the 3rd team to reign simultaneously as European champions of the World Cup. As the team won the game, the fans went wild. Mathematics has shown that Spain was predicted to win the game because of the number of passes during the duration of the tournament. Dr. Lopez Pena from Queen Mary School of Mathematics Science quoted that the team relies on swift passes that are well distributed among the players, especially between those playing midfield. Analysts show that Spain had possession of the ball most during the game. To conclude my speech, now that we have learned about the history of the World Cup and how the World Cup is celebrated and the victory of Spain, I'd like to quote one of the members from the Netherlands team, Wesley Sneijder. "We lost because we didn't win, but we're coming back for you." Thank you.